Alright, good morning. Semester 2, week 2. This week is also a little bit lighter, it is just the beginning. We have been going over a lot though. We started off the semester with EKGs. EKGs are not easy, I was low-key lost for the first 3 classes, not even the first 3, for the last 3 classes, I was lost. Not entirely, but like mostly. I can only really do the rate, There's like 300, 150, 100, 75, 60, 50, 42 kind of thing, So I finally got that down. In my opinion, to understand EKGs properly, you gotta just know the rhythms first and foremost. You have to know the basic rhythms. There's only so many of sorts, but the only thing is, I come to class and I find out there's even more rhythms. What? How many rhythms do we have? We've got infinite rhythms. I think the other thing that's also pretty important is just to know the how much each boxes are valued at. Like there's 5 little boxes in that big box on an EKG, and the small ones are 0.04 seconds, and 5 of those are I think 20. So knowing that is pretty helpful because sometimes if you have a YQRS, it should not be more than 3 boxes big. People say 0.12 seconds, but let's keep it simple. Just make it the boxes, 3 boxes, Keep it at that. Same thing with the height, which is like voltage wise, like just keep it simple. Keep it at the number of boxes, I finally made some progress, and this is all like yesterday night, like I just made this progress. We're also going to record our video today, so it's about IPV, which is intimate partner violence, and like how to go about that situation and handle that. And so we have to make a group project about that case, and it should be educational, somewhat funny. It's not necessarily like the situation that's funny, like just because they know us, the people involved. At least I'll try to like cartoon exaggerate almost, Maybe hopefully that comes out a little more entertaining or something. I don't really know, I think that's roughly it for now. So this week is going to be EKGs again because we have the exam next week. Record a video. We'll see how that goes. And then that's it for now, I guess. Goodbye. One more thing. Shout out to Mama Dupes with the breakfast. Come on, mine's in a plastic bag right now. Got some grapes and a sandwich of sorts and another. Very grateful for Mom, Honestly, couldn't have done it without her. Yeah, alright. Damn, I look pretty chunky compared to my normal proportions. I just like to be a little warm, Low hemoglobin or something. What I wanted to say and mention is we did learn about IPV, which is intimate partner violence. They call it more that rather than domestic abuse because, domestic abuse implies that you're always living together at home, and it can be more than that, A lot of times the abuser will not really let the partner speak for themselves, or they will really try to stay on top of the victim as much as possible, answer questions for them, how'd you get hurt, oh, he's just clumsy, he fell down, But I wanted to mention, like, if you're a medical professional, since you cannot get that one-on-one with that patient, one tactic is to give them the urine cup and then give them 2 markers, right? A black one and a red one, or 2 different colors, right? And you ask them, you write on a sign on the back of the door inside the bathroom. You would essentially write, if you are a victim, or if you are being abused, or if you are being harmed in this relationship, write your name in red. And they wouldn't know that. The victim or the abuser wouldn't know, like, hey, red means this, or black means this, or whatever color means something, right? Like, they wouldn't tend to know that. Because, in the medical field, like, it doesn't matter what color we use, right? I think. Maybe that's another class, but that shouldn't be something obvious. And if you're working in the medical field, you can also ask your managers or your whoever kind of is running the whole thing or supervising the whole place, what is your domestic abuse or IPV protocol? Like, what is the situation? There is a protocol there should be a protocol at every organization or institution. Just like you should know where your crash cart is, right, at all times. You should know what the protocol is, Today we're supposed to do our version. My group project is also IPV. So we're going to do like something of a skit. And maybe I'll show clips of it there.
Idiot! This dummy. hurt himself while washing the dishes.
She does hit me.
I'm pretty excited because I got to write a lot of the script, and I think it's funny, you know? Funny in not the sense of abuse, but the fact that it is our classmates, you know, doing a skit. Just that idea will be entertaining. Hopefully, I don't really know. I'm trying to make it as entertaining as possible. We're in between scenes. Put on some makeup to really sell our video, you know? What do you think? Let me know. Tidy up my hair a little bit or something? Nah, it looks exactly the same. So, what was the point? This is the end of semester 2, week 2. I think it was all right. Not too bad, not too shabby, if you will. Look who it is. No, shut up. What I'm grateful for this week, I didn't expect EKGs to click once you start recognizing the rhythms and the patterns, and it just kind of came together, you know? You do need to know like the rules, well, the criteria for all the rhythms. So that's one thing to definitely focus on for myself and for others. Next I have to do like chamber enlargement, like when your atriums or the ventricles are larger. I was gonna say you gotta know what's normal to know what's abnormal, but like the abnormal is the normal for some people in terms of at least left ventricle hypertrophy or growth. You know, like when the left ventricle is bigger than it should be. More commonly seen in like younger athletic people. You know, they have big hearts, big heart fellas. You know what I mean? Low key, me too. I'm a big heart fella, but it don't show on my EKG, unfortunately. It is what it is. I just want to go home. I don't want to sit in these EKG classes. Like I want to do like an hour of the EKG and then go home and study what I don't know. You know, and we have to do clinical electives. So I was thinking about doing neurology / neurosurgery. I didn't even realize there are two different fields. Well, not different, but two separate fields. I'm grateful, bruh. My car's already making the sounds. Your car can also make the sounds besides my car. We won't hear anything. Do I have a funny goodbye to say? Not quite, not really. I don't know. Leave a comment or something. Leave a like if you feel like it. What's it to me, right? Huh. Goodbye.